Hi guys, I'm Melissa and I'm back with another video, and today it's time for my weekly reading goals video like I did last week. I'm just going to be talking a little bit about my plans for the week, and first I'm going to be talking about my plans that I set for myself last week and tell a little bit about how I did and if I succeeded in meeting all my goals, and if I didn't, why that possibly was. Let's start out by saying that I ended up completing 3 books last week and a graphic novel. So it's not terrible, but I had set my eyes out to finish 5 books and make some progress in some other books. In total page count ended up being 1,293 pages, including the graphic novel that wasn't part of my reading plan. And so that means that all of my goals weren't met because I was supposed to read 1,432 pages. So yeah, what I ended up finishing was the audios that I set for myself. I ended up finishing both On What Grounds by Cleo Coyle, I think that's her name. And I really enjoyed that one. I ended up giving it 4 stars, so I definitely recommend it as a cozy mystery if you enjoy cozies. And I read Why Not Me by Mindy Kaling, which I didn't care super much about. I think maybe because I didn't know who she was, so it didn't have any personal connection to it. I didn't have any personal connection to it, but it was okay. It was a quick read, and I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars. Then I finished How to Stop Time by Matt Haig, which was the last audio for the Buzzword readathon that I had set for myself to read, and I finished that and I ended up giving that one 3 stars as well. I think it was pretty good, but it wasn't as amazing as I thought it would be. I'll talk a lot more about all of these books in my wrap-up. I don't think this is the place for me to give full wrap-ups, if you will. Just letting you know whether I met my goals and stuff. The other books that I wanted to read was Whose Body and When the Sky Fell on Splendor, and I've made progress in both of them, so but I didn't finish them. They took a lot longer than I expected to, and I also had a day where I didn't read at all because yesterday was my mom's 60th birthday, and I only managed to read 15 pages that whole day. And so some of the days over the week where I didn't meet my daily goals, I couldn't catch up on that so much this weekend. And Saturday was busy for me as well. But that's okay. I hope to do better this week, and maybe I can make up for whatever I lost this week. The final thing that I finished over the week was Agricon Cove by Katie O'Neill, which is a children's graphic novel, and it's nominated in the BookTube SFF Awards, and it follows a young girl who comes out to live with her aunt after having lived with her dad, and her dad is basically going to visit her, and she decides that she would rather live by the ocean. And there's a lot of talk about environment and all of that, and I really enjoyed it. So that was not part of my original TBR for the week, but it is part of my March TBR, so at least I managed to pull that off, and it was a nice thing to read in the evenings before bed. So now let's move on to the next week. I have a lot of things that I would like to finish by the end of March, so I've tried to cram as much as I could into this week, but I know that I probably will a couple of books that I won't be able to finish. First up, I also DNF'd The Glass Castle by Janet Walls. Last week I decided when I was about 65% in, I didn't even want to listen to it anymore because I didn't feel very great about listening to it. So I decided to DNF it and then focus on one of my other books for my TBR, and I started on 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid because it's really hyped, and it was a group read for the BookTube Discord server. So I decided that I wanted to join in on that and get started with it. So that is why I probably didn't finish more audios over the week. However, now let's get into the books that I'm planning on finishing this week. When I started this week, I was currently reading Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Braunhorse. So obviously this one is on my TBR to finish this week. I am halfway done, so it could be something that I can do. I have about 150 pages left what did I say, 159 pages left to go in this, so it's not too bad. So if I split it up into 7 days, maybe I'll be able to finish it quite easily. But I do have 2 other books that is the same, that I also want to finish, that are physical reading. As I've already mentioned before, I've also started on When the Sky Fell on Splendor by Emily Henry. This was the Buzzword Readathon pick for the month, and I didn't finish it. I only got 46 pages into it because I didn't receive it until Thursday. And by that time, it was a little too late since I had such a busy weekend. But I'm going to attempt trying to finish it this week and get it off the TBR. So far, I enjoy it. I have about 338 pages, so this is definitely the one that I have the most pages to read in. So we'll see how it ends up going. I don't know how much time I have to read tomorrow, but other days should be okay, like normal weekdays, except when I go training, I don't have as many hours to read when I get home, but I have that extra time on the days that I don't go to the gym, so it all works out. I also am in the middle of Pawn of Prophecy, but I don't think I'll finish the second part this month. I will postpone it to start on in April, and that's fine with me. That's one of the ones that I've decided to postpone a little bit from my reading, and I'll focus on the other books. And the final book that I'm in the middle of that is a physical reading book is Whose Body by Dorothy L. Sayers. I'm 39% into this, I think, according to my Kindle. It is a little undecided on that, but I'm presuming it's like 39% I'm into it, so I have over half of the book left, but we'll have to see. And I thought I could easily read this through, but it is a classic, and classics are often written in a different way, and it definitely takes me a lot longer for me to read the same amount that I would with other books. So for me, like if I read an hour, I might get 20 pages into it, whereas if I read an hour in any other book, I'll be like 35 to 40 pages in. So it does take a lot longer, and it's like in the beginning it was difficult for me to get adjusted to the type of writing style, but it's definitely going better now, and I'm more into the story as I'm getting closer to the halfway point. So I'm planning on trying to finish this one as well. I've only put myself down to about 15 pages a day, and I think I can manage it. But we'll have to see. The final book that I have that is ongoing from last week is obviously The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, so I obviously also think that I'll finish this one. I have about 248 pages left when I started today. I've also listened to an hour and 15 minutes or something today. Not very much, considering I have an hour's worth of driving. So, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm over halfway, and I'm planning on finishing it tomorrow. So hopefully that will happen, and I am really enjoying it, and I can't wait to finish it. My next book that I have on my list to read, because it is like the only book that I have on my list that is a series finisher, is Fire and You by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I'll be starting this the minute I stop with 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and this one is about 5.5 hours, I think, and hopefully I'll manage to finish it quite fast. And then I also have 99 Red Balloons by Elizabeth Carpenter, which is my genre TBR book. Hopefully I will manage to fit this in towards the end of the week. And then I have finally my book that I'm reading in the evenings here when I do stuff at home is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware, which I've started, but I never finished it. And I'm going to be starting in on around an hour in, because I do remember what happened basically, so I don't want to reread that first bit. And hopefully I will just be able to fall back into the story. We'll see. So that means that in total for the week I need to read 1,992 pages. And that it leaves an average of 288 pages per day. And it's definitely going to be a big challenge for me, but I do have a lot more time to read this week than I did last week, I presume. It's all just a matter of me getting my head into the game again, and hopefully I'll finish all of these books, and I will be very, very happy with my reading for the month. I mean, these two and my other book is my main focus this week, because audios are no big deal for me. Physical books are the deal, and that takes me longer, so hopefully I'll manage it. And yeah, this was all I had for today. It was a slightly short update. Hopefully it's not too confusing or anything. And let me know in the comments down below what you've been reading over the past week. Did you set any goals for yourself, and did you manage to complete them? Have you read any of the books that I am planning on reading, and what are your plans for this week? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Goodbye!